VR is dead. Those are the same 3 words I've heard for the last 10 years. But 10 years ago, I was 13 years old with a $10 Google Cardboard. And that stupid piece of cardboard is the whole reason I'm starting this channel. So no, VR isn't dead. It's just growing up. Let me explain what I mean. Around 2016, VR was finally starting to pop. The first big headsets like the Rift, HTC Vive, and PSVR were coming out. And everyone was making those future of gaming videos. And my version of all that was this. A Google Cardboard with my old Samsung phone in it. No base stations, no controllers, no full body tracking, just gyroscope tracking, a blurry screen, and me spinning around in my bedroom with a roller coaster game on my phone. But that first hit of immersion was enough. It didn't matter that it was low res and kind of scuffed. It was the first time games stopped being a thing that's over there on a screen and started feeling like a place I could actually step into. And that stuck with me. I didn't just have one VR phase. After the Google Cardboard, I went deeper. I got a PSVR1, then a Rift S, then a Quest 2, then a Valve Index, then a Quest Pro, a PSVR 2, and now a Quest 3. And I'm already eyeing the Steam frame when that finally drops. Most people treated VR like a trend that they could just dabble in and forget. But for me, it just became normal. Every few years, a new headset, new games, new reasons to stay. And that's the first reason VR isn't dead. There's an entire wave of us who never left. We grew up with VR in the background, the same way older gamers grew up with consoles. Now we're just old enough to actually build things, make content, and put real money and time into the space instead of just watching trailers from the sidelines. And the funny thing is, most of the people yelling VR is dead aren't the ones actually in VR. It's usually the people who tried a headset a few times, saw some shutdown headlines, and decided, yeah, alright, I guess that experiment's over. But from the outside, it looks simple. Echo VR gets shut down. Rec Room announces it's shutting down in June. You see a couple clickbait thumbnails about the death of VR. And if you were never really in the space, that feels like proof. But from the inside, it feels completely different. For people who actually lived in those games, Echo VR shutting down wasn't just another game sunset. It was like your main hangout getting bulldozed. Thousands of hours, friendships, tournaments, stupid inside jokes, and one announcement later, it's gone. Same happened with Rec Room. For a lot of people, that was just the default place you always came back to. And the idea that it's just ending feels less like VR is over and more like my childhood server is getting erased. But that doesn't mean VR as a whole is dead. It means the first generation of VR games are getting wiped and replaced in front of us. And while we're processing that, there's a whole new wave of kids who don't even know what Echo VR was. They're not mourning old VR, they're just loading into whatever exists now, screaming in lobbies, and having their first VR era. So yeah, from the outside, it's easy to point at shutdowns and say, see, it's dead. From the inside, it's more honest to say, no, VR isn't dead. My favorite games are. The medium is just moving on without asking me first. And fast forward 10 years. That squeaker in your lobby right now is 23. He has a job, he has money, he has nostalgia. He's not asking his mom to buy him a Quest game anymore. He's buying a high-end headset, a PC that can actually run stuff, and he's looking for the games that feel like the ones he grew up on. Some of those kids are going to become devs, some are going to become creators, and some are going to go work with the big boys to decide where the billions of dollars go. But all of them will have this default belief of, yeah, of course VR is a thing. I grew up with it. And that's how stuff goes from niche to normal. Not by headlines, but by kids quietly growing up with it until one day it's just obvious. So when people say VR is dead, what they really mean is my hype is dead. The actual user base is getting younger and more native, and that's not death. Those are the roots growing. So no, VR isn't dead. It just doesn't look like the version we grew up with. I was that kid with a cardboard headset 10 years ago, and I never really left. So this channel is basically me sticking around to see what VR turns into next. And if you're also still here, still playing, still paying attention while everyone on the outside says it's dead, then you're the kind of person I'm talking to. If you want to follow along, you can subscribe. And if not, I'll still be here making VR videos anyways. So, peace out. Thanks for watching.